Hi guys, welcome back to my fan cam. I am delighted to mention that I am joined by Jonathan from All Things Arsenal. He's here to talk about the game today against Manchester City.
Yep, and we're going to just have a little preview and give our thoughts on the game a bit later on.
Yeah, on the impossible challenge.
Most definitely,
Yeah.
definitely, it's
Yeah.
going to be very, very difficult. But there is a chance we could get something out of the game, but I think it is a small chance.
Miracles do happen. That's what I was reading earlier. Miracles do happen.
They do
so
happen.
You never know. But once the team selection is good, and everything gets into it, it'll be okay. Right. So let's talk a little bit. What team do you think should start? That's the first question. What would be your team?
I would. So this is the team that I would go with. I would go with Leno in goal, obviously. Then I would go with Cedric at right back, and I'd bring back Tierney at left back, and I'd have David Luiz and Gabriel together in the back because I think they've been quite good together. And if Partey's fit, I'd bring him back with Granit Xhaka. If not, I would have Ceballos in there. If Partey isn't fit, then I would keep Odegaard in there because I felt he did really quite well in the Europa League. He's got something about him. If we give him the ball more, he's got something about him.
He's talented. He played well.
Yeah. and then I'd obviously play Saka on the right. And then I would play Smith Rowe, and I would have between Aubameyang and Lacazette. I would probably put Aubameyang in just because he can be more clinical than Lacazette, but we've got Lacazette as an option. It's between them two. It's difficult. It's really difficult.
Yeah, he's not playing with the most confidence at the moment, Aubameyang. I mean, he did well against Leeds. He hit his first hat-trick for the club. But then in the game against Benfica, he missed some serious chances. I mean, I don't know. He's just taking his eye off the ball a bit. I don't know. And against City, it's going to be. I agree with you though. He should play. He should start. He's a better striker than Lacazette.
Yeah.
But, he's not been at it recently, and I hope that he can stick one in because we need at least one against them, even just maybe to get a draw.
For sure. We're going to need our players. We're not going to have many chances. It's going to be a game of few chances, and we're going to need them to be clinical because if we miss those, that could, like against Benfica, that would massively affect the result.
Yeah, it could be a heavy defeat if they don't take a few chances. I mean, City are scoring. They're just freewheeling. They're just scoring for fun. They absolutely buried Liverpool. They destroyed Liverpool. They wiped the floor with them. I don't care what anyone says. They mangled Liverpool. They just blew them off the park.
I know. They were
top of their form at the moment, but I fear for us today. I really do. When we have three big matches, we have Manchester City, then we have Leicester, and then we have Benfica back in the Europa League
again. Yeah,
it's a massive week for the club,
Yeah, we're going to have to, against City, we're going to have to win the midfield battle. I think that's the biggest part of the game. It's not going to be the attackers. It's not going to be the defenders. It's that midfield battle because the likes of Gundogan, who are on amazing form. Rodri is playing the best football he's played for Manchester City. Their midfield is so good. And we're going to need the likes of, if Partey's fit, him to be back, Xhaka to be on top form, not making mistakes. If Ceballos is in there, we need to be winning that midfield battle because that's where the game's going to be won and lost.
Yeah, and City's defense is formidable. I mean, they've got quick guys there in the backs. They're quick. They're quick at taking the ball out. They're not slow at all. I mean, when they have pace, they're good defenders and they're pacey. I mean, they're a real danger. Can we get him behind the defense is the question. I mean, Saka, I think if he plays, he's going to get some rough treatment. I think they're going to be hard on him. He's going to get kicked all over the field. It's going to be physical. I hope he's ready for that, and I hope Arteta has his tactics right because in the past, Arteta's tactics for me, it's been found wanting a little bit. The cup game against Southampton, the team selection, the tactics, man.
Yeah, well, you've noticed that recently teams have been putting men on Saka. They've been kicking him down. They've been. I remember even Benfica just constant. they put against Benfica, they put Vertonghen on Saka and was like, stick with him. And the amount of fouls that Saka had given on him, because he's just the danger man. People were, if they nullify Saka, then our attacking threat is nowhere near as good.
He's our best player for beating a player and for getting the ball in or for shooting. No one can beat a player like him. Smith Rowe is very good. I'm a fan of Smith Rowe. But Saka, technically, he's very good at beating a player. He doesn't just hit and hope that he gets a lucky cross into the box. He beats the player. He goes past him, takes him out, and then he has a free run if he wants to go in or cross. Massive game today. And Bernd Leno, I think, is going to be busy. Whoever plays in the centre or two centre backs, they're going to have a busy afternoon of it. I hope they're ready.
They're going to need to be. It will be interesting to see if he throws Mari or Holding in there. If he goes with either one of those as well, because before Mari got injured, he was one of our main centre backs. He was playing week in, week out. But since he's come back, he was solid. And David Luiz, as good as David Luiz has been, he's always got a mistake in him, especially against big teams. You remember that City game last year where he gave away the penalty, got a red card, made the mistake for the goal. Calamitous. You could be thinking, do we risk David Luiz in a game this big?
It's maybe not the game for him because he's going to be under pressure the whole time, constant.
Exactly.
There's going to be no let up, I think, anyway. It's going to be incessant pressure.
Yeah.
He tends to self-destruct a little bit. I like him. I'm a fan of his, and I think he's a good defender. But in this game, he's going to have to be like colossal performance in this game. I like Holding. I think Holding should start.
Yeah, Holding's been decent.
Whoever partners him, we can discuss that. But I think Holding is dependable. He's reliable, and he covers when someone else makes a mistake. He always gets his head on the ball or gets his foot on the ball and just kicks it out. That's all you need sometimes. But the pressure, definitely. If we get a point out of the game, I'll be delighted today because it's a massive match. But a point, of course, is not enough for us because we're down in 10th. And
I know we need. Yeah. The league for me is done. Our only way for European football, any kind of European football, is through the Europa League. There is no other way now. We're out the FA Cup. We're done in the league. And the Europa League for me is the only way, that we're going to get European football. There's a chance, if we went on a mad run, there's a chance that we would get European football through the Premier League. But I don't see it. I think we've got such a tough run of fixtures coming up in the Premier League. I think Arteta should be focusing on the Europa League. We've got to do well in that. But this game's huge, just because if we don't win this game and then we go and lose to Leicester, the confidence is going to be so low for Benfica.
Yeah. The thing is, though, I think definitely we need Aubameyang putting a few in today. If that doesn't happen, man, I fear for us. Now, I'm actually getting nervous now. I haven't felt nervous before an Arsenal game for a while. But like you said about the Europa League, we have to win that to get into Europe next season. Top 5 in the league now, I agree 100%. It's beyond us.
Yeah.
Leicester are in there. Liverpool are in there. Spurs, unfortunately, are in there. United. City, I think, will win the league. What do you think of the Leicester match? What do you think of that game? You think we have a chance? It's away, right? We're away.
We have a chance. We have a chance more than it's going to be easier than Manchester City. It's going to be easier, but it's still going to be so difficult. They've got so many danger men. They're a very, very good team.
I just hope Vardy just slips at home or breaks his leg.
Vardy loves Arsenal. He loves Arsenal.
Because he has an easy time of it. He has an easy time of it.
Exactly.
He just bullies a few guys and gets physical.
Yeah, exactly. It's like if any strikers on the goal scoring drought or anything, all they have to do is go and play against Arsenal and they're guaranteed to bag a few goals.
Yeah. They're looking at the fixture list and they're smiling.
No, of course they are. I mean, it's an easy. If they don't get a win, they're going to take points off us because we are just we're not that team that we used to be, and we're very easy to beat. Very easy to beat.
We had guys before that would take a yellow card and go back a long way now. Martin Keown, Tony Adams, they would take a booking, take a yellow, but they would stop the player. If they couldn't stop him fairly, they'd body check him.
Yeah.
Take a yellow, and then they'd play with discipline for the rest of the game. We've no one like that that's just going to come in a little foul. David Luiz does it a bit, in fairness to him, when necessary. He'll just take a guy out. Hopefully not in the penalty box. But, it's necessary sometimes to professional foul.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I mean, we used
just take them out.
Yeah, we used to criticise our players under Wenger for not making those fouls, especially at the back end. They didn't. They was too soft. We got rammed through so easily. We were too soft. But now, I do think we have got a little bit more about us. Like we do make those fouls. You just have to look at. I remember like Xhaka versus Benfica. I think they were on the break or something. He just, sometimes you've got to take a yellow card for the team to prevent goals and stuff like that. I mean,
yeah. I agree.
Do it.
We definitely lack a little bit of bite, though. There's not so much aggression, like positive aggression. It's a part of the game too, because there's going to be that period, especially against Leicester. There's going to be that period of the game, that 10 or 15 minute period. They're going to get physical and they're going to man up and they're going to get tough and they're going to hit the ball. They're going to hit the ball right into the danger zone and they're going to be physically competing for it. We need to be ready for that. I mean, it's no surprise what we're going to do. Against Villa, we didn't do it. And we knew what they were going to do. It was clear as day that Ollie Watkins and the rest of them, Grealish, you know what they're going to do before the game. It's no surprise. They're going to hit us. They're going to hit us hard. But we just didn't, I don't know, we were maybe a bit unlucky in that game, but we didn't get the grips with the physicality.
We also struggle with pacey strikers like Jamie Vardy, for instance, Ollie Watkins, all these pacey strikers. And today we're going to have players like Bernardo Silva, Raheem Sterling, Gabriel Jesus, and then they'll bring off the bench. They've got so many different attacking options. And they're all pacey. They're all so pacey, and we've got to be on it. Especially, I fear for Hector Bellerin as well, because Hector Bellerin defensively doesn't do anything for me if he plays. So if Cedric plays, I feel a bit more calm. But if Bellerin plays, God, because I think Bellerin, he's not as pacey as he used to be. Like, I don't think Hector Bellerin's really that pacey anymore, especially after his injury.
That's true.
So I think him up against the likes of Sterling and Bernardo Silva, I think they could have a field day.
Yeah, and as well, he tends to kind of, I don't know, it's like he switches off for that moment. Against Leeds, the second goal, he wasn't the only one. We made a couple of mistakes. But he made the big one where he switched off, player was gone in behind, the ball was already on its way. He didn't see any of it. I mean, he was completely out of the game. They were straight in on Leno. Leno had no chance in that game. That was 4-2. If Leeds had got another one, we would have been in trouble. So,
I mean, I think the guy that I'm actually really scared about is Ferran Torres.
Oh yeah,
for City. That new guy that they've brought in, he is a serious player, really serious player, and he's done very well of filling in for Aguero, because obviously it looks like he's out the door now at City.
They have a lot of options, City. So
yeah, exactly. Their whole team's good. I mean, we could be here all day picking out their danger men, because every single position they've got.
They're the richest football club in the world. If they want a player, they just buy him.
Yeah, exactly.
The richest club in the world. So can't compete with that kind of buying power. They have buying power if they want. They get the best player for the position. Guardiola needs a left back. Guardiola needs a right back. They get him. He needs a goalkeeper. They get him.
Yeah,
it's like that. I hope today we can do something against him. He hasn't, Arteta though as coach, he hasn't done too bad against Guardiola in the past. He's had a couple of, he of course was assistant there. He knows the players. He knows Guardiola. Maybe he can do something there. And yeah, I just hope for us, because really, I think what you said about Bellerin is 100% correct. He's brittle and he's lost that pace with his injury. He's lost that.
They won't. If Tierney plays, they won't be going down Tierney's side as much. You'll see they'll target Bellerin.
Yeah, of course.
it's so, Tierney defensively and going forward is very, very good. They won't get the success that they will get down Hector Bellerin side, and especially if David Luiz is playing on Hector Bellerin side. If he's playing at right centre back and Hector Bellerin is playing at right back, well, they're looking at that and going, exploit that. One of them will make a mistake. We'll get in.
What we need to do is actually Arteta needs to look and he needs to see, does Tierney have a brother or a cousin? Maybe he's good too, and we can put him on the other side. We can like 2 Tierneys, and then we can just break him on either side.
I wish we had two. I wish we had 2 Tierneys. Honestly,
that's going to be a song. Team full of Tierneys. No, but it's going to be. You're going to watch the game. Obviously, it's going to be a massive.
Oh,
massive
of course,
game. Try not to get too stressed anyway, and try not to go and self-destruct like David Luiz. Listen, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it very much.
That's fine.
Thanks everybody for watching. I'm going to have all things Arsenal's social media contact in the description below in this video, so you can check out his channel. He does very good content. I watch his videos. I like his channel is better than mine, if I have to be fair, even though I have 1,000 subscribers.
No, yours are good as well. Yours are good as well.
Check out his channel. Do yourselves a favour, guys. Thank you for the compliment, and thanks very much for coming on the show. I appreciate it. Time. Let's do this. See you later.
See you later.
Okay.